Does your face eat blush? Do you put blush and then 2-3 hours later it's gone? Well, today I'm going to show you 3 important tips. I call it my Seint blush hack, and I promise you it'll give you far more longevity out of your Seint cream blush, and I'm glad you're here. Hey, welcome back to my channel. I'm Michelle Spieler. I'm a 30-year pro makeup artist. Every Wednesday night I do a Seint video. I've been with Seint about 3 years now. But as a 30-year pro, I use every makeup brand under the sun, including drugstores. So if you're new here, you can find my traditional makeup videos on Saturday. One thing I want to mention is this coming Saturday, when I was in New York City a couple weeks ago with Ulta Beauty, I would do my makeup kind of fancy at night because we were doing red carpet type events. And I went heavier for me, but I like my skin to look like skin, and I'll play up the eyes a little bit. But when I had professional photography done at night, I was like, where's my makeup? Like, I just kind of looked like I looked pretty, like I had makeup on, but I didn't look wow. And it's because when you are on red carpet, you really have to intensify everything and punch it up. And I just didn't really do that because I also like to look beautiful in person. Remember, we are the Look Good Close-Up Club. We don't do social media makeup. We don't do heavy-handed makeup. We want to look beautiful up close and in person. But when I saw back the professional photos, the professional videos, I was like, okay, my skin looks glowy and my eyes look sparkly. My eyes look good, but like all my blush, my lips, everything was kind of like barely there. And I worked really hard on it. So, you know, I like to look good in person. I like to do content for mature women, like women over 40. And so I do everyday makeup. I don't do a lot of special occasion makeup. Even if I'm playing up my eyes or I'm doing a glittery eye, I still will look normal in person. But I think this coming Saturday, with the holidays coming up, I want to do a heavier handed makeup, which completely goes against my nature. But I'm gonna do a heavy handed makeup this coming Saturday using a celebrity that everyone's kind of flipping out over right now. But I love her makeup artist and I love her red carpet because she still looks soft and pretty on the red carpet, but I know now how much makeup it takes to look soft and pretty. So come back Saturday, we're gonna do special occasion makeup. Okay, today we're gonna do a blush hack. And I've done this before, but not everyone sees every video. And I get a lot of questions, how do I keep blush on? How do I keep blush on? And it's not just Seint blush. Sometimes people have trouble keeping any blush on. I will say that cream blushes tend to not stay on as well as a powder blush, but cream blush is so much more pretty in person, especially on mature skin. If you have normal to oily combo skin, and you have slightly larger pores just drink in makeup. We call it you're eating the blush. Your skin is literally eating the blush. And there are just some women, I have learned in 30 years, I've heard everything under the sun. In 30 years, there are just some women that cannot keep eyeliner on no matter what they do, and they cannot keep blush on no matter what they do. And I used to think, oh, you're not telling me all the details, or oh, you're just telling me what I want to hear, or, you know, you're probably touching your face, or you're not skin prepping well. But I'm to the point now at 57, and I've done this 30 years, that when someone takes the time to tell me every single step they're doing and their blush is gone in a couple hours, I believe them. I used to not believe them, and I believe them now because we just have more challenges as we get older, and larger pores do drink in blush. So here is what we're gonna do. You're like, yeah, get to the point, Michelle. Okay, so we're gonna start with the Prime and Prep spray. This is the new Seint. It just came out in September, the Prime and Prep spray. We're gonna do this first, all over, but I'm really concentrating it through here where we're gonna do blush, okay? And we're gonna let that dry a little bit. And I'm gonna give you a treat today. I'm gonna do a little bit of my foundation today because I'm not wearing foundation yet. And then I'm gonna show you a couple tricks for keeping your blush on. And if you do everything right and you still can't keep... Okay, I am recording. So all of a sudden my camera just stops recording. And I don't know why it does this. And then I realized I didn't have my microphone on. So now my microphone's on, so this should sound better. Okay, so I let this dry. I'm gonna go in with my foundation shade, which is Candlelit. Candlelit is my foundation shade. And I'm just gonna do a little bit, not a lot, just a little bit. We're gonna pretend we're just doing everyday makeup. Remember, come back Saturday for a more special occasion makeup. And I put my brows on first because I find it's easier to put brows on first. Sometimes if you do makeup first and then put brows on, what happens is your brow product doesn't stick really well because you have foundation. This is looking too light. Hold on, not my shade, but all right, I don't know, people. I'm still trying to figure out this. Still trying to figure out this camera and lighting. Now I did get a new lighting system, but it's not going to be here for a few more days. Possibly a week. I think Black Friday, Cyber Monday sales really slowed down a lot of shipping, so it's okay. It's not the end of the world. It's not life or death. Okay, so I will say too, I did zip this morning, or about less than an hour ago, and it really lifted this eyebrow. This is my eyebrow that goes mwah, and this one's always nice and lifted, and I feel like by doing zip that it really lifted this one, so that makes me happy. Okay, guess what I forgot? I forgot my blender. I'll be back. Okay, I also forgot my mirror. You know I can't do anything without my mirror. You know what else I didn't do? I didn't do my Vaseline trick. I'm rusty today. I am so sorry. I am really rusty today. Okay. Now remember, under the Prep and Prime spray, I was fully skin prepped. Fully skin prepped, and I'm not wearing my usual tinted moisturizer. You know, oftentimes I love to wear tinted moisturizer under Seint, but I'm not today. I went straight in with Seint. But sometimes I feel like it helps you to see me apply my Seint. I think sometimes it helps people to see me apply it. I'm putting a little bit more Seint above the eyebrow. Kind of rubbing it in. I don't want to get too close to my eyebrow because I spend a lot of time doing this is my 3-dimensional brows, and you can always watch that video. I did it about 2 months ago, and it's my favorite way to do brows. It requires 2 different shades for most people. Not everyone, but for most people it requires 2 different shades. Okay, this is looking really pretty and really even. But you know what I need? I need my Vaseline and I need my Demi. I'm going to take some of my Vaseline and I'm going to go under the eye and really press it into those nooks and crannies. And you can really rub it in too. I mean, you really get it into those nooks and crannies. And by warming it up too, it really gets it in, because when it's in the nooks and crannies, it will float over the skin and in the nooks and crannies. Yeah, I should have put it on before the Seint, but that's okay. I'm going to put a little bit over. It's okay. Sometimes I do this. You might too. You might forget to use Vaseline. And see, I'm looking more textured through here. My parentheses get really textured. Let me know if yours do. That's the textured area of my face, or my parentheses. So I like to put the Vaseline on first, then the makeup. I also love to fill in the little polka dot pores on the sides of my nose where, you know, they've just gotten larger with age. It's just the nature of aging. We get those larger pores, and if the foundation is even a pinch too light, it settles. Now, darker foundation, you won't see it in the pores. That's why I put a lot of you in a darker foundation, and it makes you nervous. But the darker foundations are more for the center of the face where we have more pores. Out here, we don't need to be dark because we want it to match our neck and our chest. But you have to also take account in, you have to also match your chest. I see a lot of you with light faces, but your neck and chest have that deep, bricky, ruddy color from just years of being in the sun. You have to match it. And I'm not saying you have to be the same color as your chest on your face year round if your face is naturally light, but you have to kind of match it. So I put a lot of Caucasian women in hazel. And it's scary on the website because it looks dark, but it's so necessary if you have any of that bricky ruddiness to the chest. And it's great on the nose. Okay, so I'm going to take, oh yeah. Oh, it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. The Seint is so beautiful over the Vaseline. It just is beautiful. Okay, so sorry, I didn't think that this would take so long, but I think it's important for you to see the whole process, especially if you're new here. It's important to know how it's all supposed to look. Now, I wouldn't say I put Seint on light today, but I also didn't put it on heavy. This is the point though, if you were going out somewhere, you would want to look close up in the mirror and see if you had enough coverage. Now, looking in the mirror right over here, I might take a little bit more foundation and go through the sides of my face where I have more sun damage. But I'm not going to do that today because I'm just home filming. It's not important. Okay, and then now I'm going to take my Demi 03 and we're going to go right over that Vaseline, but I'm only going where I have darkness, and then I have some little veins over here. So I'm just going right where there's darkness. I'm not taking it anywhere else because the peach counters the blue purple. It cancels it. When you put the peach over it, it cancels it. If the peach is not canceling your darkness, the peach is too light for your darkness. You need 07. And 07's scary for some women. But I did a whole video on it. I did a whole Seint video on how to cover dark circles. You just have to do 07. There's just no way around it. You have to do 07. And it works. It's beautiful. Okay, now I'm going to take some, normally I would take our magic color, but Seint got rid of it. They got rid of NR1. Now, so many of you have emailed many times and asked Seint to please bring back NR1. Okay, my camera just shuts off. It's the weirdest thing. I don't know why. It just shuts off while I'm filming. And it's not battery. I've just put a new battery in. I don't know. This can be the death of me. Okay, so I'm doing a little 01 around the eyes because it's really more my skin tone. 03 is just to cancel the blue and the purple. Okay, and then we need a little bit of 01 around the broken capillaries. I could use Y01, but I don't have it. Okay, there we go. Now, let's see. Do I need contour? I think so. This is ash. I love using ash. In the winter. I love it. Okay, do you see? I'm gonna leave it there for a minute because my ash is kind of hard. My ash is hard because it's cold in my studio, so you gotta let it warm up. I also like a little ash on the nose. You don't have to, but I feel like it just slims down and minimizes my nose. And then I'll do a little under here. Again, you do not have to do your nose, but I like my nose to be a little diminished, okay? Okay, and then I'm gonna do a little bit You have to be so careful when contouring because it can make the blush look dirty. So we're gonna let it just sit here for a minute. And notice I'm just putting it where my shadow is. I'm just putting it where my natural, now I'm not going under the shadow, I'm going kind of on and slightly above. And see how the brush is just pouncing it on? And I don't take it into the inner face. I don't come past the corner of my eye because it will look dirty. I see a lot of dirty contouring at Seint. And I don't think it's flattering. If you love it, that is all that matters, is that you love it. I don't. Okay, I'm gonna do like a little, talking about dirty, I just made my lower lip look dirty by doing contour. Okay. We can also do gels if we want, but you don't have to. Again, this is not, gels is not for everyday makeup when we're just trying to get out the door. I do love it under the chin though. I really do love it for under the chin. And then I'll kind of take it down the center of the neck. Okay, so we're gonna leave it like this. We're maybe gonna do a little bit of pouncing it in. And we definitely need to pounce it in up here. And then we're going to use a little powder in a few minutes. Okay, so I'm lightly contoured. I think that's important because a lot of women do love contour. I will say liquid blushes tend to stay really well on women who eat blush, so just know that you do have options, but they're also trickier to apply. Okay, so I'm looking here in my mirror. Everything looks good. I'm not doing eye makeup today. I do have on a little MAC paint pot in Laying Low, and I do have my Lashify on, and I do have brows on. But let me see how my demi looks close up. Oh my gosh, it looks so good. It looks so good. Oh my gosh. Demi, demi, demi. And I'm telling you, the Vaseline under it is the trick. Okay, now hear me out. I'm not powdering yet, but we're gonna go. Yeah, my camera just shut off again. I can't figure it out. Anyway, we're gonna go get in with one more layer of the Prime and Prep, and I just kind of did it through here. Ignore tape. Mail just came. I just kind of did it through here. I just kind of really want it for the cheeks, okay? And we are going to I'm a little extra. I love to have a fan. You don't have to, but they are very cheap on Amazon. And it's great too if you're in a hurry and your skin prep is taking too long. You know, every step of your skincare has to completely dry before the next step, or else that's why we get all the pilling. Sometimes makeup lifts off again, but if it's dry between each step, you're not going to have pilling. It's going to do great. So some of you all just need a fan on Amazon. I guess I could put a link, but I don't know that I've ever done a link before. Okay, here's another trick. So here's the blush hack so far. Number one, you need the Prep and Prime spray, I think, because I did it under the makeup, then I did the makeup, then I did another layer of the Prep and Prime, okay? Now I want to go in with, I might do one of our new blushes. Let's see, one of our new holiday blushes. Woo! Let's see. I don't want anything that's too... I'm not feeling these today. They're pretty, but I'm not feeling orangey or red today. I really want to do pink. Should I do Marrakesh? It's not really my color, but it might look great on camera. Let's do some Marrakesh. Okay, so what I wanted to say is you want to pick a brighter color, okay? And I think a really safe color for many, many women, it doesn't matter if you're fair or you're deeper skin tone, I think a lot of women look great in Dahlia. Dahlia reminds me of another color we discontinued, R5. R5 was so perfect. It was the prettiest blush and it stayed on really well. But Dahlia is also really pretty, and it's just a great kind of, I call it Barbie pink, but it's just a pink that's so flattering on so many women. But we are gonna go in with Marrakesh because I wanna try a new color, okay? And if you go in with a color that's brighter and more pigmented, it's gonna stay on longer, okay? So here we go. I'm gonna leave it in that big crazy stripe for a minute, okay? I'm gonna leave it like that. I don't want you to be afraid of blush because I'm gonna show you another hack in a minute. I'm showing you how to make it look more natural and pretty and also how to stay on longer, okay? I find I like a little on the nose just to kind of, so you don't just have two pink cheeks. Makes it a little more cohesive, I think. Okay. So now is the time where I'm just pouncing it. I'm kind of pouncing the edges because I want it to blend in more. So watch how I'm doing this. I'm pouncing it. I'm really pouncing it into the skin, and I really want it to look more blended, okay? But that's kind of cray-cray. At least in my mirror, it's completely crazy looking. Then you can also take your blender and go around the outskirts of the blush. Go around the blush. Now this is gonna take you 2 seconds or 5 seconds. I mean, I'm doing a whole video on something that takes seconds, okay? Just because I'm wanting to really explain it and I want you to see it with no cuts, okay? Now, if it's too pink, if it's too much, you go back in with your foundation brush, because there's still foundation on here, and you go over the outside edges, just the outside edges of the blush, because now we're putting a little bit of, my camera just shut off again. I don't know, I gotta figure this out. It's not low battery because I just put a brand new battery in. So see how I'm just going around the outskirts, and now the pink looks like it's coming from under my skin. I love that technique. It looks so good. Let me see how it looks in person. Yeah. That is so pretty. And that's a very purpley pink. A lot of people wouldn't think that you could wear Marrakesh, but I would do either Marrakesh or Dahlia. Marrakesh to me looks more like Demi VR5. I put a lot of you in VR5. It was a blue pink. And then I think that the Dahlia looks a lot like R5. Okay. So that is Marrakesh. I think that's really, really pretty. Okay, so I almost might need a little more. I might have toned it down too much. Let's see. Let's take a little bit more in the apple. Isn't that so girly? I just think pink is so pretty and feminine and girly. Now, guess what comes next? Notice we still haven't used powder, okay? Okay, I am good and saturated. Remember, it's gonna be a little wet and you want it to be. That's what keeps it on. So now we have 3 layers of prep and prime. You also want to make sure if you're oily or combo that you're not using too much slippery skincare, because that cream blush is going to just slip right off of you. Okay? It's going to slip right off. Now, I don't use our illuminators. A lot of people will come back after I give them a color match and they'll say, hey, you didn't choose an illuminator for me. I mean, I'm so crazy glowy right now. Like there's no need for an illuminator. I am like shining in a beautiful glowy way. Like I don't need illuminator. If you do want illuminator, I think Angel's very pretty. I love rose gold for the summer months. I love pearl. I think pearl is so beautiful. Those would be my most natural ones that I would suggest, but I really don't need illuminator. I think I look really glowy. Okay, let me go get my powder brush. Okay, look, I just put a little Marrakesh on the lips. And that's cute too. And then let's see, I think I have a little bit. A little bit of illuminator. What color is this? That is oh, that's the rose gold. See how pretty it is? It's just a really soft, subtle. Really pretty on the lips. Again, I don't ever feel like I need illuminator on the face, except maybe right here. A little bit on the nose. Kind of cute. I also kind of like illuminators on the brow bone. I think that's cute, but I don't think we need it. I don't think we need illuminator. Illuminators can also accentuate pore size, so you want to be careful, and that's why we're gonna enter in the feather powder. Our feather, and look, mine shattered in New York City, but I have 2 more on the way. I like to put 2 in a little quad. I'll show you why in a minute. Okay, so I like to take the feather dust powder. This is a blurring powder. It is amazing. And it has now replaced 100% my Givenchy. I always used Givenchy powder. I almost never used our vanilla dusting powder. No reason. It's just, you know, it wasn't bad. It was just a little more, I felt our powder was a little bit maybe grainy. And this feather dust powder is about the prettiest powder in the world, without being chalky, and it really blurs the skin. It just blurs. Now I'm going to take my big fat brush by Crystal Lee, because I like it for my jawline and the side of my face where my hair wants to stick. So another reason I like having 2 pans is I can fit this big fat brush. All right, now this is not normally a pink I would choose. I would normally do Dahlia, but in the mirror, I really like this. I really think a lot of people can wear Marrakesh. Who's it for? I would say anyone who's a winter or a summer. It's definitely a blue-based pink, but it's not scary. I mean, look at it. That's not scary at all. That's beautiful. And it's on my lips. And I really like that. So I'm glad I got it. I almost didn't get it. And I'm glad I did because I wanted to show everyone what it looked like. And I thought, oh, I don't need that. I have Dahlia. But you know what? I like that. So even though I am a warm spring, I am a combination of some spring, some autumn. That's why I think Dahlia is better for me. But actually, pink is not anywhere in my palette. If you pull up, I don't know where my palette is right now, but if you pull up my palette, I have 0 pink in my palette. 0. Like not even one. Let me see. I don't see it. Anyway, I don't have any pink in my palette. So I wear Dahlia because I like it. It makes me feel girly and feminine and pretty. But the Marrakesh is really beautiful also. And definitely if you're a winter or a summer or a blend of winters and summers, you could definitely pull off Marrakesh. And then if you are spring or fall and you want to wear pink, do Dahlia. This new one's cute too. This is the strawberry shortcake. That's really cute because it's a sheer, so cute. It's like a sheer, almost like a coral pink. I don't know, this lighting on this camera, I don't know how but do you see that one? See, it's more of like a corally pink. That would be darling for spring and autumn. Really cute, really cute. Okay, so there you have it. Let me pull my hair down. I have a little bit of my contouring on. I think it helped. I think my contouring held up well. I can still see a little bit up here, but I did a winter version where I'm not super contoured, and I don't use bronzer that much. I think because now that I'm copper, and bronzer goes great with copper hair, but I think I like the juxtaposition of the lighter, fairer skin with the slightly deeper hair that has more warmth in it. So I really like omitting bronzer, but I do like a little bit of contour on my cheeks, a little bit, and I always contour the top of my forehead. Unless I'm doing quick out the door makeup, but it just adds that little bit of depth up there because I have such a long forehead. Anyway, that blush ain't going anywhere. That is not. We have 3 layers of prep and prime. We powdered it, and I will say that powder took it from looking dewy, and now it looks like candlelit. That powder reminds me of Hourglass powder, but more blurring than Hourglass. It gives us like beautiful candlelit velvety glow to the face rather than a sharper dewy glow. Yeah, I love that powder. I love that powder. That is just the best thing we ever created at Seint, is that feather blur powder. Okay, so I hope that helps. That is my blush hack. That is how to keep blush on longer. You need several layers of this between all your makeup. You need a brighter color. You have to go brighter if you want it to stay. If it goes too bright, you know the trick where we just take a little bit of our foundation brush and go over it, pat, 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 finish with another layer of spray, let it fully dry, and then we go in with feather dust. And I'm telling you, that is locked and loaded, and that's not gonna go anywhere. If your blush doesn't stay on all day after all of that, then you either need to add a powder blush, and you can because now we powdered it, so powder blends on powder. So you could go in with a deeper powder blush. We see a lot of young women doing that online. A lot of young women are wearing 3 layers of blush. They are. I see it every day on TikTok and Instagram. It's like, really, you're putting another layer of blush? You're 20, you know, but they do. They put a lot of layers of blush on so that it holds up really well and it stays on all day. Also, you could just fall in that camp where you just eat blush. You just do. And that's your plight in life, and I'm sorry, but there's worse things, right? Okay. I will see you back here on Saturday for special occasion makeup that holds up really, really well in video and photo. And we're gonna have to push the envelope, and we're gonna have to wear everything a little bit heavier and darker than we want, but it is beautiful for professional photography and video. And we still can tweak it and do a few things so that we also look good in person, because you want to feel beautiful close up, not just in photo, okay? I'm so glad you were here today. Thank you, and I love you, and God loves you, and I will see you Saturday. Bye for now.